Good evening, everybody. Whoops. Am I? Yep, I'm unmuted. It's good to see you and it's good to be seen by you. Welcome to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Wednesday evening. We're just waiting for my co host, Kyle Schuant, to show up. And I'm kind of glad he's not here at this moment because I want to talk for just a few minutes. I don't even know if there's anybody out there, but maybe you are. I want to talk for a few minutes about why we didn't open with the music and the animation. Um, so I want to preface what I'm about to say with none of any of the ire I might direct is directed at Bards of Greyhawk. I absolutely love them both. They have done incredible things for this show. And I hope that they will get to continue to do incredible things for this show. Go out and support them on YouTube. Buy their CDs. If you go to a con and someone is selling uh, legally, legitimately Bards of Greyhawk music, buy it, get it, appreciate their stuff, enjoy them. They are awesome. No, the problem is not with Bards of Greyhawk. It is with a content matching service, a CMS. Basically, it is a wedge that sits between a creator's material and the audience. A couple of years ago, when I started this channel, I used to joke that I would do opening credits when I had opening credit music. And the lads over at Bards of Greyhawk approached me and they offered me in exchange for basically just shilling their stuff, which I gladly do. They would record a song with me, not with me like I'm singing and playing on it, but they took it to they took my specifications and they created a wonderful piece of music called Summer Mountains, and it was based on the stuff that I thought fit what the Delver's Dungeon music, like if you could condense us down into a single piece of music, what would it sound like? And I thought that fit. And so they made me the song. I use an excerpt from it in my usual opening credits, which you guys see, which is a lot of B-roll that I shot of stuff around my tabletop, my miniatures and D&D books and all that sort of stuff. What in the hell? Anyway, so I don't know why my crawl banner clicked off there. Anyway, so I've said it, Thomas, 3 times. I've said it. It's called Summer Mountains. Anyway, so I put it out there, and it's on every live stream that I have done. It is on every video of length that I think it should go on. Sorry, and I didn't mean to snap at you, Thomas. I apologize. So it's on hundreds of videos, hundreds and hundreds of videos of mine, because I do this 5 nights a week. And I have had that song since 2022. So you do the math. Last week, a company called CD Baby, a CMS, started flagging every one of my videos. Some of them YouTube decides that I will not make any monetization off of, and it will all go to CD Baby. Some of them it generously decides that I can split my monetization with CD Baby. CD Baby then presumably sending some to the Bards, who don't want anything from me for the song. And for a good few days, I've been getting hit 3 and 4 videos at a time. And so I reached out to the Bards, and they did their best to ameliorate the situation. The thing is, CD Baby, that's a good question, Gonzalo. CD Baby does not whitelist tracks. They don't do that. They don't whitelist music. They will not. It says on their website, we will not whitelist individual tracks. So what that means is I have, let me explain something. I have the Bards created a boilerplate that I can paste into the dispute system on YouTube, and a boilerplate link to a Google Doc that I can also paste in there. And I can say, hey, YouTube, here's my bona fides. Here is what this does. So please stop hitting me. But for the few dozen videos that YouTube's already hit, they're now in 30 days of consideration. There's a lot of things that YouTube could do. Let me be real with you guys for a second. YouTube hates me. Not just me. They hate any small creator. They hate our guts. All right. They would prefer it if I just left, if I just shut down my account and left. All right. They love PewDiePie. They love Sniper Wolf. They love 20 million plus subscriber channels. They hate me and small creators. They want us to give up and go away because they don't. We are a net negative to their profits. It's pennies. It's a pittance, but that's the way it is. So YouTube isn't going to do anything helpful. And if they can twist things a little bit and cut a guy's throat before he crosses over that 10,000 subscriber threshold and starts getting some traction to where they have to kind of start paying attention and giving a little bit more consideration, they would much rather do that. Every single one of these CD Baby auto matches that I have to go back and deal with, I have to paste in. And every time I paste a link to the permissions letter that I got from Bards and the permissions email that I got from Bards, every time I do that, I have to tick a box that says, I acknowledge by making this counterclaim that I know that everything I'm saying is 100% right. And if YouTube decides that I am lying to them, they can terminate my account forever. So the net result of that is I have been on pins and needles for about a week. You guys might not know this. Maybe you think that I'm sitting in some massive studio, that my life is hunky-dory, that I'm independently wealthy, which is why I can just like pop up and do a video in the middle of the day and do this 5 nights a week. And you catch me out on social media at 4 a.m. because I don't have to worry about income and that sort of thing. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. The little bit that I get from Patreon and from YouTube is when I tell you guys, thanks, you're helping keep the lights on around here, there are months when that's very true. And if YouTube takes half of that away from me, it's going to suck. It's going to suck bad. And so, yeah, I've kind of been on pins and needles. And so why didn't I have opening credits? You're probably thinking, what has this got to do with the price of tea in China? Until I get a 100% ironclad, this song belongs to Bill Sylvie, the Dungeon Delver, William M. Sylvie, from YouTube and from CD Baby. I can't risk using the song over and over and over and over and over again and have YouTube turn around and bite me. You know, it's like the scorpion and the frog. Except the scorpion won't drown. I'll just be poisoned and die. Thank you, Gonzalo, for the super. I don't know. You'd have to arrange that with the wonderful people at Bards of Greyhawk. Thank you for the super. To everybody who's waiting to get in and start playing, it will be a few more minutes. Like I have 15 minutes after the opening credits, so give me a few more minutes. I will, Gonzalo. I will. Thank you for the super. And that brings us to something else. I love you guys' support of the show. I couldn't do this without you guys cheering me on, subscribing, liking, sharing. That's all on you guys. I'm in awe of the support you guys have shown this show, of the support the Bards have shown this show. Okay, where's the jewel case? Oh no, the jewel case. Here it is. All right, these guys are awesome. Okay, they made a band that makes concept albums about first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Like, all the songs on this CD are titles of stuff from first edition AD&D, not fantasy themes that kind of fit, but first edition AD&D. And I think that is pretty outstanding. And you know, I just now I'm scared that they're going to come after me for Owlbear. So that's why you don't get any open credits until I get the all clear sign from CD Baby, until I'm convinced. And the problem is, even if tomorrow they said all of those things that you've hit, you're absolutely right, that belongs to you. Our automated CMS has caught another video, and it starts again. So I'm just a little stressed out right now. Because if it was just up to the Bards, they've done everything they need to do to clear my ass. All right. They snapped too. I sent a direct message at like 2 a.m. local time when I saw a stack of content match warnings in my email to the Bards. Right then they started responding to me. Like, right then I started getting emails from them and stuff I could do to help start remedying the situation. They have been stellar. So that's where I am right now. With that said, if this was just me, I would probably call it a night. I would probably sit down and play some classic Doom and call it an evening. But I don't have to host tonight. Now, I don't have to host tonight because I have an incredible co-host who is going to be jumping in here in just a minute. This cat right here is an absolutely amazing guy. I love having him around, and we're going to play his excellent gritty TTRPG. Everybody, please welcome my co-host and your frenemy, the Viking Hat GM, Mr. Kyle. Good evening to you, my friend. Or good morning.
Hey, boys and girls. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right, all things considered.
I just have to dash out and get my campaign notes because I got my. I don't sit here in the garage. I am here in the garage. Where is it? Anyway, I don't sit here in the garage doing all the RPG stuff. I sit in the comfort inside home. But so I had all the notes on there, so I just had to dash off and upload them to the cloud so that I could get them on here, and I know what the hell's happening.
Well, I sit in the garage, but then my garage is also the comfort of my home. So this is now part of my house's square foot. We have a weird thing with like legal square footage. I don't know if it's in the state of Florida or if it's all over the US, but if a room is connected to your house's central air system, you can count it as part of the livable square footage. So this is officially part of my house now because we have an AC.
We don't have that here. There's all sorts of regulations about what counts as livable. Like if you want to rent out your garage for someone to stay in, you couldn't be like Red and that were on that 70s show and just stick them there and charge them rent.
Right.
You have to, I can't remember, you provide them with a sink or something. I can't remember. We don't intend to do it. Though I did think that if the gym didn't work out, that once my son was a teenager, I could just stick him in here with a squat rack and a fridge. And so we wouldn't have, if he was too obnoxious, we wouldn't have to deal with him or smell him or anything. But he's turned out to be a good lad. So we haven't had to exile him to a hammock and squat rack.
That's good. That's good. Literally the weekend that we found out that Rosemary was on her way, I told my wife like that Friday evening, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some advice from Dad. My dad was still with us at that time on how to move the conduits. I'm just going to go out into the garage. I'm going to turn our garage back into a garage so we can put a car in there. I'm going to have a lot of fun because demolition is fun. I'm going to take that wall out. It's going to be great. Saturday night, she brings me the test. And I was like, well, I am sitting in her nursery. So I had to move out here. So thank goodness she got it then and not like the next weekend. Because that, then I would have had to have built a new wall. So what are we doing tonight, Kyle? Going back to the prison hospital?
Yes. All right. So this is Bill's character.
Mm-hmm. I will turn the banner off.
So you can see that he's got the nature charity, which wasn't really on display when he shot a surrendering person. Matrix now has distress because he's acted against his nature.
Yeah. Well,
the result
is that
by indulging charity in some other way, or by spending some time with his friends, or having some downtime, or whatever. But he's a little bit. He's gone against his nature there in shooting a surrendering person. So.
Okay. Well, to address that, are we in game yet? Or are we just bullshitting at this point?
Can
I make?
Is there a difference?
Fair enough. So two things. When I was at the prison, I had fatigue 1 and distress 1. Had those been remedied?
No.
Okay. So I have distress 2.
You haven't had a good night's sleep since.
Okay.
So you rummaged around the prison. You did not stay overnight in the prison after campaign start, and you then collected the ladies and a vehicle, and then you went out and you went to the gas station.
I want to be.
And now you're driving back to the prison. So it's all the first day. It's been a hell of a first day.
I want to be 10,000% clear, though. John did not collect the ladies. The ladies stuck to me like tape. When it's Christmas morn and you're trying to navigate the living room and you look down and you've got 4 ribbons and a shard of wrapping paper stuck to your foot. That is the ladies that I have collected.
Well, they collect themselves.
They collect themselves and then
let's bring the next one
to
in.
me.
This one collected herself to you, attached herself to you. Yeah. And let's bring Canuck in.
Endurance intrusion admin lust is the name of my Amazon Kindle romance that I'm publishing next month, by the way.
Hey peeps.
Good morning, Seppi. How are you doing?
Good morning to you. Can't complain. It's good.
And then lastly, we've got Joe's character, Doc Knox, who's feeling a bit worse for wear because Bill shot him.
Yeah, I ran in the way. I should have known better. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, they were meleeing with some people that they didn't like, and Bill demonstrated why it can be a bad idea to bring a gun to in this case, baseball bat fight, which is that if your friends are busy meleeing your enemies and you fire into the melee, you might hit your enemy, but you might also hit your friend. And that's what happened on this occasion. Doc Knox took a round in the neck and went down like a sack of spuds. Except like a really old, rotten sack of spuds because like stuff came out as he went down.
Kyle, can you strategically attack where you say, after something happens, then I will, I will do said thing?
Yes. Like in every combat turn, you get 2 actions. There's handle, which is like pulling out a weapon or changing magazines, that sort of thing. But that would include like pulling stuff out of your backpack and so on. There's orient, where you just stop and you look around. There's move, obvious enough, and then there's attack. And you can, of course, make your attack conditional. That works best if you orient first. So the classic thing is the fire and movement, or bounding overwatch, as Americans call it, where one group does orient and attack. So they just sit where they are and they watch. And if they see an enemy, they fire at him. If they don't see an enemy, they don't fire. And then there is the group that's moving, which does orient and move. They look for a place of cover to move forward to, like in an urban terrain or forest or something like that. They look for a place of cover, and then they rush forward to it and get behind it. And then they swap with the other group. So yeah, that would be an orient and attack, where you're assessing the situation and then you go. But if you just do 2 attacks, and it's like boom, boom. The other tricky thing is that all combat is simultaneous. So if you're shooting at a guy and another guy rushes in to melee him, things happen.
Yes.
That's why it works to have somebody in charge and coordinate you guys. Like, you rush into that guy and I'll shoot at this guy, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You could just think of it like, even if firearms aren't involved, you just have a gang of thugs, and 2 guys they've both got liquor bottles, and one guy decides to run in and hit the other guy with it, and another guy decides to throw, but they don't talk to each other. Just one guy throws, and then one guy runs in and hits. What do you think is a possible outcome there? So coordination, and that's where characters it wouldn't occur to your character, Doc Knox, because he doesn't have a combat skill. If you have firearms, brawling, or melee, or bows and thrown, you've got some idea of tactics and of coordinating a team. If you don't, then you don't. You know, so like the idea is not completely alien to people. It can all be figured out at default. So if somebody tells you, you rush in and deal with him, and I'll shoot this other guy. Yeah, you can handle that. It's not that complicated, but it wouldn't occur to you necessarily. Does that make sense?
Sure thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just like, say, first aid or something like that. It won't necessarily occur to you what to do. But if somebody trained tells you, do this, oh, yeah, okay, I'll squeeze the bleed or whatever. So what it comes down to is that it's all about teamwork and communication.
Absolutely. Would my instruction help anybody trying to work on me?
Your position skill. Your position skill. I would say no. If it was just like a minor wound, yeah. Well, okay. We'll put it this way. We'll say that it does help, but your physician skill is +1. However, you have a red wound, which is a -3 penalty. So you're at a net -2 because you're busy going, ah! So it's hard to give them clear instruction as to what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kenneth comments, doctors can't generally do surgery on themselves in most cases. Apparently, there was a Russian in the Antarctic who got his...
I was just thinking that.
Appendectomy on himself. I don't know how well it turned out.
I was thinking...
Well, one thing I can tell you, it took a lot of guts to try.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Oh, like your jokes are any better.
They're not, but you're a dad, so I can call it a dad joke.
Yeah.
So as well as the crew that you guys have just seen, you've also got with you Autumn, another ex-con, and Jaya, another ex-con. So by her demeanor and her actions, you get the idea that she used to be some kind of nurse. You don't think doctor, but some kind of nurse or EMT or something. So there's her as well. All right, so you guys are heading back to the prison. Well, that was your plan when I last heard. You're heading back to the prison in order to get access to a better infirmary than your improvised one out in the field.
Yep. We're trying to save our doc.
Yeah, lest Doc bleed out horribly in the snowy wilderness. All right, so you hop in the car, you leave behind, because there were also pictures up. There were also Sam and Ellis. Sam, who got beaten badly with a baseball bat and shot at, but it missed. And then Ellis, who took a shotgun blast and a revolver round, a Glock round right in her chest.
We're leaving them behind. They caused the problems, you know. We're out of there. It's their issue.
You drive away, you leave them behind at the gas station after having quickly looted of its bacon and veggies.
Dang straight.
Yes, the party was suspicious, dear audience. The party was suspicious that these two might be cannibals because they walked in, they smelled the smell of bacon cooking. And then after they defeated them, they discovered that it was in fact just bacon. So they took the bacon, and you've driven away, left them behind. You go along the wilderness. You go along through the wilderness, and you approach that river. So remember, there was that little river that went through.
Well, we got up. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had a scene missing there. Kyle, please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've been driving along a highway, and there was a bit of a highway that was all broken, and a shallow river had appeared before it. But you found a place to ford the river.
All right.
So I assume you take the same route back to the prison, yeah?
Yeah. In our case, we Volkswagen the river, but please continue.
Yes, in the VW bug.
We're going to go the known path that gets us there.
That's fair enough. All right.
No side trips, nothing.
No side quests?
Yeah, no side quests.
All right. So we've got here in the rules the wilderness generation. Now, we already know the answers to some of these questions because you're taking the same route. So this is the procedural generation method we use. The hex crawl in my game.
Mm-hmm.
So is the ground elevated? Is it wooded or overgrown? Is there a water feature nearby? Is there a road rule in the settlement? Is it hot? Is there precipitation? Is there an environmental encounter? Is there a living encounter? Now, all these things have already been decided for the day because it's the same day. A hex is just a day's travel. So if it's closer terrain like hills or forests or whatever, it's a smaller amount. If it's big open plains, it's a larger amount. So because as characters, you don't really care. You know, you're not surveyors like Joe is in his everyday life. So you don't care the exact distance. You care how long it takes you to walk across it or drive in your VW bug. So it is an open plain. There's very little foliage around apart from some stunted grass. There's light snow falling. There's this broken highway, and there's the shallow river that's formed through the highway. So you cross across the river. Now you need to still roll for an environmental encounter or a living encounter. So Bill, let's see a roll for an environmental encounter, if there is one.
A 6.
6, yes, and so a strong, vivid presence of a roll 1d6.
Go for a rabbit! Go for a rabbit!
A natural feature.
Natural feature. Okay, so there's a little pond that you zip past. The pond is formed near where the river is.
Very nice.
It looks like the pond has been there for a while, and you mentally note it. There might be a nice place to fish later on. But you drive past it. Yep. All right, Safi, roll to see if there is a living encounter. 1d6.
It's a 3.
So you got a 3.
3. No, but there is traces present of a 1d6. Safi?
A 1.
A 1. Passive animal, insects or herd animals. So you're driving along and you see a lot of churned up mud where there was probably some sort of herd animal. You don't know if it's cattle or horses or whatever, substantial sized herd animals. So it might be a good place to go hunting later when, nobody's bleeding to death. All right, so you arrive back at the prison. The outside of the prison is as you've seen it before, with the broken down vehicles outside that have been fried out by EMP or something. And with all their petrol caps open because Bill's character went around siphoning fuel out of them all. Aside from that, there's just that light snow on the ground. The door is slightly ajar. One of the ladies left it at the front door of the prison is slightly ajar. One of the ladies left it when they went out. Ahead, you can see the front two, you see the entrance of the prison and the front two wings. The right-hand wing being the men's area, the left-hand wing being the women's area. And you know that there's a third back wing, which is the quarantine area and also death row. You have not been in the quarantine or death row sections. Okay. Over to you guys.
All right. And it's night, correct?
By this time, it will be early evening. Yes. You'll need your torches.
Early evening. Kyle, I'm gonna pull up near, like, if there's a a cluster of cars that are close by.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm going to pull up to the front and I'm going to instruct the ladies to get Joe's character out, Doc Knox, get him out and get him to the infirmary.
Yep.
All right. So we'll
I'm going
to cluster and go.
I'm gonna just real
you mean
quick.
the infirmary in quarantine?
Yeah,
because
wherever.
if you recall, each wing had its own infirmary, but the two you went through have been totally looted and used up now.
Yeah.
And Jaya had said that she would expect the quarantine infirmary to, number one, not be looted yet, and number two, to be better set up anyway, because it was a quarantine hospital area.
I guess we're going to the quarantine.
Yeah, take him there. Now, fried electronics aside, I know that the cars, I know enough about cars to know that a battery is a battery.
Yes.
I'm going to grab a couple of car batteries and put them in the Volkswagen's front boot, just to have spares.
Okay. So you'll be outside doing that. It'll take a little bit of time. Yeah, you'll be outside doing that. Meanwhile, the others. Okay, Joe, you want to play Jaya until Doc Knox is ready to go, or Autumn?
Oh, sure.
Which one do you prefer? Autumn with a scrounging search, stealth, and greed, and a torch, or Jaya or with her brawling physician, presence, and wrath?
I prefer not to be in charge of my whether I live or die with a physician, so I'll go with Autumn. But you might make it
too much pressure, is it?
Oh my gosh.
Either way, you're going to have to roll for it, Joe.
Okay. Regardless, I want to kill myself.
PC, you roll for it because it's your fate. I don't want to be blamed for
it. So you're trying to go passive, but he's not going to let you.
No.
All right. Okay, so Autumn, you lead the way in. You go through the lobby and past the reception and into the family area. To your left is the men's wing. To your right is to your left is the women's ring. To your right is the men's wing, and then ahead is on one side the admin area, but then in the corridor off there's down through to quarantine and death row. So you're leading on in. Jay is just like carrying Joe over her shoulder.
I think Autumn is going to tell everybody to keep quiet, and she'll get ahead a little bit and listen and try to be quiet and listen for any activity.
Oh, yeah. She's got stealth, so she can sneak on ahead. Okay.
So use hand signals, wave us on if we should go, give us a stop hand if we should stay. Pretty basic.
Agreed.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So you make your way down the corridor and sort of, looking around you and you bump into a door which is ajar, and you thought you'd bump gently, but it actually slams shut when you do. You make a bit of a big noise with that. And you pause and you look around and you don't hear anything. So you're going down, it's got a linoleum floor, this corridor, been waxed a couple of weeks ago. You've got dirty gray walls, that sort of beige color, that beige gray color that everything gets painted. It's that color.
Oh, yeah.
There are fluorescent lights overhead, but obviously they're off. There's just a bit of dim light from outside because of the actual front entrance is pretty far away, and also it's a wintry day. So it's pretty dim in here. You have to use that torch of yours if you want to see anything. You flick your light ahead, and you see one of those. I keep forgetting what they're called. The airlock type areas, as in like there's one gate, and then there's a little space, and there's a second gate, in case any convicts try to escape. So you see one of those gates ahead. This one isn't the normal iron bars. This one is a solid wall with a little, not solid, like a solid thick door with a little slot that opens up. And there's an electronic thing on one side. Obviously the staff had previously, used their card or whatever to click themselves through. So yeah, you see that door ahead.
John, how did you open up the previous doors? Did you go to the
I'm out in
guard
the parking
station?
lot.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
Sorry. I'm outside shopping for car
He's
parts.
not with you.
Getting
just
spark plug cables.
You've got Erica there, Jaya, and there's Joe that's over Jaya's shoulder going,
Erica, check this door out.
I'll look at it. I'll look at the lock. I'll try to figure out the best way possible. I have intrusion as a skill, so.
You do indeed. Make a check.
A 3.
3 plus your skill, so you get 4. So that's yes, but all right. This door can be opened. You'll be able to short through the little electronic lock, and you'll be able to short through it. But you need power. You need electricity.
So I say we can get through there, but we need a battery of some sort.
I think John was doing just that.
Well, you want to run back and ask him for a battery? You're going to be faster than the rest of us.
Yeah. I don't think he hates me as much as he hates the rest of you, so I will
go for it.
I'll go ask very nicely and with as much personality as possible. To ask him to come in and help us.
You run back to
work
John.
Work it. I have nothing against that.
You find him elbow deep in the engine of some vehicle, prying out a battery. There's another couple of batteries on the ground next to him.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, I've got my hand inside my coat. What do you want? Where is everyone else?
We're trying to get into the quarantine area, but we need some power. Do you think one of these batteries might help?
I look down, whichever one is the Dura Spark. I just kind of nudge it with my boot toe. Take that one.
All right.
Red to positive, black to ground.
All right. So you're picking up the battery, Autumn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you pick up the battery and you go back inside, plonk the battery down on the ground by Erica. But it does occur to you on the way that you might need some wires.
Good thing you have scrounging skills. Find some wires.
Yeah, I feel like she stole some copper wire a time or two. Maybe we'll see if there's any,
it's scrounging skill. All right. So there are a couple of rooms on the way. There's staff break room and everything like that you've been through. So just make a scrounging check. Well, roll 1d6.
Ready?
I mean, somebody left behind a phone charger. We can make it work.
That becomes a 7.
Awesome. All right. Yep. So you find, in fact, you're looking around in the kitchen area and you see that the kettles power plug and stuff like that, and thinking maybe you could trim it or whatever. You also look in the locker room though, and someone for some reason has left jumper leads, like a car's jumper leads, in there. So yeah, you find that.
Well, that's really useful, actually.
Very helpful.
Okay. So tell us what you do, Joe.
Okay. Autumn will return to the door, try to see where that power is coming from. If you can't follow the conduit somewhere, to see where to splice in, or.
Well, Erica's
going to step in. Erica's going to step in and say, "Oh, good job! You get the power. You got the connection. I'll take it from here." Okay. So she's gonna put the battery down next to the door. She's gonna run the cables, and she's gonna try to overwrite the door controls.
Okay, so you get an intrusion check, and you get a +1 because you've got some assistance here.
Yep.
With Autumn helping you out.
Got a 6 natural.
Awesome. You plug it in, it lights up. You short the power through. There's a and it just clicks and sort of opens slightly ajar.
So
and
I'm going to put the
light inside there. A red light comes on inside, like an emergency light.
I'm going to shift the battery so it blocks the door from closing. Even if it wants to, it'll stop because the battery's in the way.
Yeah.
You can't be too careful.
Yeah.
So let's get in here. Get our stuff done and get out of here.
All right.
Bill.
Yeah, that was a joke. I said it was a joke a lot.
Yeah, Bill has
you drive away, but you're really stressed out about it.
Yeah. Man, I feel bad about this.
When we act according to our nature, we don't always feel happy about it.
Yeah, that's about the length.
All right, then.
So you're splitting the party. Just kidding.
He's already split the party. He's outside. All right. Okay, so the door opens up. The other one has opened up as well. It's just slightly ajar. The one just beyond there. So you go inside there. You go inside the little airlock type area, and there's, like I said, just red lights, emergency lights going on. There's a slight smell of damp here. Smells a bit like wet dog. And there's nothing on the walls. There's like little security cameras, but their little light isn't on. They're obviously not working. They wouldn't have power. And there's the slightly ajar door about 10 feet ahead.
Autumn, take the lead.
All right, so take the lead with your torch, because now it's black. It's black now in here. You can see very little. Take the lead. The door is just slightly ajar, just an inch or so. It also has one of the little sliding slots that's just partly ajar, because it opens from the other side, not from the inside the slot, but from the outside.
She'll listen to hear if she hears any commotion beyond that door.
Yeah, listen at doors. Watch out for the what's it called, the earworm?
The ear seekers.
Or a mimic.
I played in a sci-fi campaign.
Coming towards us.
It wasn't that fun. All right. Okay. You hear some sort of shuffling sound ahead on the other side of the door. Something or someone moving around slowly.
What do we have? What does everybody have for melee weapons?
Jay says, I've got Joe. about the dock?
A body thrown can be a weapon, I guess. Oh,
But
goodness.
she's also got her pump action shotgun. Jaya has.
I guess I have a metal pole-ish with a
Yep.
Well, you got
with a
Gotta
bent
go.
angle.
yeah, you
A
got that
makeshift
bulking hammer.
And
hockey
Autumn,
stick.
you've got one of those security guard type torches, the big heavy ones. Yeah, everyone's got a knife as well, even if it's just like a little pruning knife or something.
So I'll grab my makeshift hockey stick and get ready.
Yeah. You gonna open the door?
Do we want to go without
Or
John?
just stay there while Doc Knox is bleeding out?
We don't have a lot of time. John's, getting our ride ready. We got to do this. Go for
All
it,
right,
Autumn. You got the light.
I'm thinking, well, Jaya isn't actually healed with a shotgun, but I don't think she's going to give it up, correct?
Damn right, says Jaya.
Perhaps Autumn and Erica could both hold up Doc, and we'll have Jaya going with the shotgun.
Through the little crack in the darkness, you think you see movement. And you hear a quicker shuffling sound.
The door open towards us or away from us?
Towards you.
Well, let's step back.
You hear a
Autumn's
clink, like something metal dropping onto the ground.
Crap. Let's step way back and close the door.
Yep. The door will not be locked because you've disabled the lock by the electricity. But it will
Well,
be
there's
closed.
a reason the door was locked.
Boo.
You hear more shuffling sounds, and then a sort of a low animal grunt that becomes a growl.
Oh yeah.
You're in there in the little airlock area, the only light being from Autumn's torch. As she moves it around, shadows move inside this area.
Autumn's gonna quietly close that door, and
it's already closed. You closed it already.
Oh, it is closed. Okay, and then she's gonna put
It's not locked.
all of her. Yeah, she's gonna put her whole 80 pounds up against that door.
If you'd fallen in the river, you might have been 85 pounds.
Does anybody recognize that sound? We think that's an animal?
So we got two choices. We stay out here and we lose our medic, or we rush in there, we face whatever it is, and
there's a massive thump
we
against
don't
the door.
let up.
Someone or something going bodily against the door.
All right.
And it's not a clink, so it's not like a filing cabinet or something. It's something fleshy against the door.
So it sounds like we got to go in hot. So our firepower's got to go first. Autumn, if you open the door and Jada blasts it.
You hear another thump, and you look around quickly, and you see that Jay has dropped Doc Knox. Not terribly gently.
Like a bad habit.
I mean, it is what it is, but she's got to use her firepower. So,
okay.
I mean, if Autumn opens the door and stands behind the door, but not where it'll swing when whatever comes through, she should be able to hit it as it charges through, while Jaya fires at it, and I'll try to take the other side. If we hit it from 3 sides, maybe we can knock it out.
It is just a narrow corridor. And remember, so if Autumn is just beside the door and Jaya fires into the doorway, then you've got that gas station situation again. You can do that. I'm just letting you know.
Can she fire through the crack of the open door if I was to crack the door?
Yes, you can. And there's also the little slot, remember? She could just
Oh, yeah.
Stick
Let's
the thing
use
through.
a slot. Let's use a slot. Put your torch in there to give her a better chance of seeing whatever it is moving.
I think I'm more worried about holding the door, and if you want to help me do that,
Autumn's just leaning against the door, and Jay is
Fine.
We've got
we've got like 130 pounds against the door now instead of just 80.
Yeah.
All right, so there's you two against the door. It's probably more like 180 pounds between you.
I know, but she's strung out. She's really, really light. She's not much of a doorstop.
And 180 pounds of Jaya comes along. she's like 5'10" or something, about 180 pounds. And so she comes along and she just like sticks the barrel through there. You glance up, you feel another thump against the door. And she sticks a barrel through and fires. Make a roll. Someone make a roll for her. You can roll for her, Joe.
Yeah, right.
She's firing blind, so this would be at -2.
That'll be a 1.
So she goes,
I rolled a 3.
boom! And it's absolutely deafening inside this little corridor, especially since, you guys are only like 2 feet away from the barrel. An enormous boom echoes through that corridor. And there's a brief flash from the muzzle flash. And she goes to pump it and it won't pump. It's stuck. She starts swearing, like, God damn it, swearing. And she's trying to fix the stoppage.
I guess we're all going to hold this door while you fix that there, Jay.
There's nothing thumping against the door just at the moment.
Is there any... there's a handle for the door, right?
Yes.
Is there anything off to the side that we could tie the...
No. They do not have tying points or hanging points or sharp things sticking out of the wall inside the airlock area of the exit to a prison area. They have avoided this.
Right.
It's all quite flush. There's just the doorknob, and it's just, it's just one of those little snib things. The Jay is busy trying to fix the stoppage.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
I mean, is it something we can assist with or no?
No.
Okay.
Especially since you don't have firearm skill, and neither does she. But
yeah.
But anyone can point it in the general direction and pull the trigger.
We're winging it,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna brace myself as much as I can to hold the door when that thing, whatever it is, tries to go off the door again, until she gets her firearm fixed.
Yep.
Hold the light in there. See if there's any movement.
Hold the
I think I've got it
flashlight
now.
still,
She
damn
says,
it.
hold the door, and she sticks the barrel through the door as well. Nothing's been banging against the door, and you haven't heard anything. Mind you, at the moment, your ears are ringing.
Right.
So you wouldn't hear too well anyway. So she sticks the thing through the hole in the door again. Boom! Roll for her, Joe.
Son of a bitch. It's a negative, so...
Boom! It gets stuck again.
Great.
This is why that gun got left behind. Somebody with firearm skills tried to rack a few shells through it and was like, yeah. This is going to get me killed.
One of those
And then that old guy found it, and
Yeah, don't get the fully
Joe
automatic.
says, never mind, and she takes the thing by the barrel. It's like, now it's a club.
All right.
Joe says, come on, let's go.
Let's open up the door and see what we see. I pull out my knife, torch in hand.
So torch in one hand, knife in the other. Yep. Okay. So you open up the door.
Yeah, we crack it first.
Beyond, you see what's obviously an infirmary. You flick your torch around. There are a number of beds around. There are one or two beds that are evidently occupied, but the sheets are being pulled over, the figures inside the bed. There's a very bad smell in here of decomposition. And you flick the torch around, make an observation check, since you're obviously orienting yourself.
6.
I
rolled a 6.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, so you see just in front of the door, like dirty footprints, barefoot, dirty footprints, human. And they've obviously
Are the
run
wings
off somewhere.
Are the wings set up fairly similar that we might have an idea where the infirmary is?
Like I said, you see it ahead of you. It's an open area. It's a large open area. So instead of individual cells, they've just got individual beds. The beds have restraints on them for some of the individuals. You see figures in some of the bed. You're just standing in the doorway at the moment. So a lot of it's 10, 20 feet away. And you're just looking by torchlight. So, you can see that there are figures in the beds covered with sheets. You don't see anyone up and moving. There's a smell of decomposition. There's also a smell that's a bit like wet dog. There are human footprints, barefoot prints, right in front of you on the ground, on the linoleum floor. There are windows in this wing, but they're all barred, these windows. And so at this stage, there's just a bit of moonlight shining through the windows. There's a lot of shadows.
Doors visible?
You flick it around, you just poke your head right through the immediate part of the door, and to your immediate right is an area which must be like the nurse's station or something. And then further along down the corridor, there's another door that's obviously to another part of the prison.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's nurses. There's odds are they're going to be to the medical. So let's look for the symbols and go.
Yep. All right. So you head down. All right. So like I said, there's a door to your immediate right when you come out. And that's obviously the nurse's station. So you see, and you flick your torch around, and you see there's desk and all the rest. But you haven't gone into it yet. You've just taken one step outside the airlock doorway.
Kyle, are these torches fire or battery powered?
Your torch is battery powered.
Okay.
It's just
And
as in
flashlights.
It's just as in your image, just like
right,
that.
right. All right, Erica, go check that door. I'm gonna try to blind anything that comes out.
Fine, whatever. Let's get this done.
Okay, so you open up the door, and the first thing you see is a body on the ground, and the trunk is opened up with the contents of the trunk visible, and it looks, if nothing else, chewed on.
We got animals
This is
in here.
this is not knife wounds.
We got animals in here. So I'm going to look around for other movement.
Okay, so that's at the nurse's station. You haven't stepped foot into there. There's bits of person on the ground, and you see the counter, and you see computer, and so on. This seems like an admin kind of area.
So the bits of person that's been chewed on,
Yeah.
do they seem to be, I mean, I probably can't tell as a layperson, but do they seem to be animal or bipedal?
You don't know. There are
Okay.
bloodied footprints leading in
Because
and out.
this is a quarantine area, so could be
There are
cannibalism.
bloodied footprints leading in
You
and
know.
out. You would not expect to find animals in here, just humans.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, yeah, anyone we find in here may want to do that to us too. So let's be aware.
All right, we'll ask Jaya. Do we want to move into this room and see if Jaya can tell if there's anything useful here to help?
Jaya sticks her head in and she says, "This is just admin here. There
Yeah.
won't be any drugs or anything like that here.
All right,
We need a proper surgery area." She said, "That'll be further on.
Okay.
That'll be further on. This is just the ward area."
So let's press on.
Do you think you can fix that gun before we go?
"No," she said.
Okay. All right.
Because I think John knows guns, but I don't know if we want to give him a shotgun.
I mean, if he can fix it, if he's still there, odds are he's on our side.
So you're just leaving Doc Knox lying in the corridor, or?
Nah, we'll take him along.
Okay, so Jaya shoulders him, and then she holds the shotgun by the barrel so that it can be a club. Okay, so you walk down past, like I said, there are bodies lying under sheets here in the ward. You walk through the shafts of moonlight. You smell the decomposition, death, and excreta. The air is cold in here. You approach the door at the end. It's another locked door. This one has a physical lock on it, but half of it is glass with the grid wire inside it.
Yeah, you can use your club. We can put a hole on the edge and maybe reach through and open the knob on the other side.
Yeah, or you could just use your intrusion. Just use a hairpin or something like that.
Oh, okay. I'll try that then first.
This is
If it
the
doesn't work,
lockpicking
brute force.
prisoner, and today we have a lock that is standard to most institutional type doors. Nothing on 1. Little binding on 2, nothing on 3. Let's go back to 1. Sorry.
Okay, so
Make a roll.
yep. That's a 4.
But that's
Thank you for
Freeway. That's a payment to Bill's channel, and he's one of the players. So
yeah,
you know,
but I'm
like
also not
$3.
there. I'm out in the parking lot, sitting snug as a bug in a bug right now. I've stripped off a couple of batteries, a whole bunch of spark plugs and spark plug cables, basically anything I can to keep the V-dub running.
And you tapped off the gas too.
So, I see some deadites come shuffling out of there. John's seen enough horror movies to know where this is going.
All right. Okay, yeah. What'd you get on the intrusion check?
That was I thought it was a 3, wasn't it? Or no, it was a 4. Sorry.
It was a 4, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 4. Sorry.
Yeah,
Plus my bonuses.
All right, so you unlock it, but it will stay unlocked. You won't be able to relock it. That's a yes, but result. So yes, you get what you want, but there's a complication. The complication is it will stay unlocked. You've jammed the hairpin or whatever in there. Okay, yeah. So you unlock it, and beyond there's a little corridor, and down this the corridor continues, but then to your right is an area that Jaya says that'll be the surgery area.
Mm-hmm.
So come on, tell me what you guys are doing. If you're not saying anything, I assume you're just standing around, and then I roll for wandering monsters.
Move in as quietly as possible and check the door to see if it's locked.
Okay, you go through. No, the door. It's just like a door that flaps open and closed. They don't keep surgery closed.
I motion for them to move forward.
Here in, like I said, it's another one that's got like half of the door is a window, and it's got the wire on it. And beyond, you can see the room beyond is obviously a surgery. It's got the table, and over there's the machine that goes ping and all that sort of stuff. There's all the stuff that you'd expect in a surgery, and then there's windows to outside, but they're of course all barred up.
Yeah. That door that we opened, does it swing in or towards the way that we came in?
It swings inwards.
Okay. We want to try to bar this door. Is there any heavy objects around?
In the surgery, yeah. There'll be everything's on rollers. It's a surgery.
Okay. All right, let's get in there and let's bar this door. Jay is going to need peace and quiet to do what she needs to do.
She will. Jay says, all right, I need a nurse. I need an assistant. She takes Doc Knox and she plonks him down on the stretcher.
So who's going to be better there, Erica or Autumn?
Yeah, I'll take Autumn, she says.
Okay. So Erica will stand guard.
Erica may have, administered drugs before with syringes, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes, Erica, you are profoundly aware that that there will be some intoxicating substances in here, some anesthetics and good things like that.
So I'm gonna kind of side eye as I'm standing guard, like sliding stuff into my backpack to take with.
The cabinet over there would be where the drugs are. All right. First aid, start off with stabilizing the wound, because it was a no but result last time. We want a yes. So Jaya has physician skill. She has a well-equipped place. So physician skill, a well-equipped place, and she's got Autumn assisting her. So altogether, +3. A red wound, however, gives a -3 penalty. So that makes it a net 0.
Okay.
Joe, make a roll.
Damn. That's a 1.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
He's dead. He's dead.
She pulls off the bandage, and just the way he moves or something, the bullet that's still in him opens up an artery and he starts gushing out. So he degrades to black status. So, but this is the best place for you to do it. She could try to save him now at this new level. So make another roll.
A 2.
No, she does
No.
not save him.
Twice as good.
That's right. That's
no,
right.
She does not stabilize him. And 2 minutes later, I am sorry to say that Doc Knox arrests and dies.
I'm surprised he made it this long, honestly.
Hey, you just as easily could have rolled a 6 and him been up and dancing like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. So, you know,
Exactly so.
it's the dice.
Exactly so. Like
The
you
way she
did try.
rolls.
So Erica's
There
gonna
is a
like
bodily
shovel
thump
everything
floor.
in that cabinet into her backpack in the meantime.
Yep, you're not helping, so you're just shoveling drugs into your backpack.
Yep, because I can't help. I mean, there's 2 people working on them.
Yeah, that's right. And and Jaya says time of death 1815. She says it automatically. Like that. Well, not that it matters, she says. And then she just closes Doc Knox's eyes and says, "We tried."
Does Doc Knox get up off the table and help himself to a snack?
So she'll quickly finish and like put her
There's
head
a
down for a
bodily
minute.
thump against the door.
Dang
And a
it.
growl sound outside.
So let's get ourselves out of here. We're gonna have to fight out.
Autumn, what are you doing?
We could just toss Doc Knockout to this thing. I think it might want to eat it.
Okay. You know, distraction. I mean, if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
I mean, he's still warm. He's not cooling off that fast.
Depends on your nature. So somebody whose nature is charity probably would not be good with that. Doc Knox, what was his nature? I can't remember now.
Temperance.
It doesn't matter. His opinion doesn't matter any more or less.
Right.
Erica's nature is lust. She won't necessarily care either way. Autumn's nature is greed. She doesn't care.
Yeah,
Jaya's nature is wrath. She does not care. It doesn't go against anyone's nature, so you can do it. It will not cause you distress, not any more distress than you're already feeling from that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's all help with the door and just kind of like put it.
So remember the door. Remember the door is glass with glass in the top half with wire on it.
Mm-hmm.
So Autumn, you flick your light out over there and you see shadows as you move your torch around, but you don't see a figure out there.
How big is this room?
Well, it's a surgery. It's like 20 by 20 feet, something like that.
I mean, if we put the body in the far corner and we open the door and let whatever it is go for the body, maybe we can dot out versus trying to throw this body out there, but then it would be in our way.
Yeah.
I'm just getting this mental
option.
image of this. I'm just getting this mental image of the soldiers like dodging and weaving and trying to duck under the zombies at the end of Day of the Dead. roads.
Yeah,
Well, I
runs off
mean,
in his
exactly.
golf cart.
Why would we want to trap ourselves in here versus having him come in? We run out and close the door and hightail it out. I mean, it's gonna be hard either way, but let's try to minimize what we got to duck and dodge.
So if we dismember him, we can just toss his body parts away, and maybe they'll go after it, and then we make a run
Bait
for
him more. Oh gosh.
it.
Okay.
You'd be like Hansel and Gretel, but it's instead of like little crumbs of bread, it's
Yeah.
And the ironic thing is, he's doing this as to his own character.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Waste not, want not.
All right. So while you're talking to each other, there's another thump against the door and a low growling sound.
So move them and do what you got to do. Rip them up to make them appealing to the cannibal flesh-eating zombies that are in here. And let's stage it so as soon as they fly by us, because the smell's going to attract them, we get the heck out of here.
So you want to lure them in, hide behind the door, and then make our exit, or do you want to throw it out
Pretty
the door?
much. No,
that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Let's do that.
We throw it out the door. We got to get by them, and they're eating frenzy. We're not going to get past that. Let's give ourselves a chance here.
All right. Who's opening the door? Who's standing where? Doing what?
I think we all want to be on the back side of the door as we open it.
Yeah.
We'll have Jay open it. Baldy's at the far end.
Yeah.
Cut up to make it appealing, apparently.
Well,
Well,
my idea of cutting him up was to, like toss it out of the door to get them away from us. But that's pretty brutal. I'm happy with your plan.
I don't know about your characters, but this is causing me distress.
I'm reminded of this meme that's like it talks about how Tomb of Horrors isn't just a D&D module. It is an exercise in player character resources, and they're like, okay, we're going to take the bodies of our first 5 characters and stack them in the bottom of the pit so our next 5 characters can climb out.
I mean, let's offer ourselves the best chance to get out of here, whatever it takes.
Yeah. We open the door and go, Suey, come and get it.
All right. You open the door. Okay, Bill, you want to roll a reaction check for the monster?
Sure.
The question is, do they take the bait? 1d6.
1d6, and do they take the bait?
Well, it smells pretty good in here, I think.
No, and?
No, and?
All right. Yes, it smells in here all right of blood and viscera and excreta. And you open the door, and there's just silence from outside in the corridor.
All right, I closed the door.
Yeah. You're staying in the surgery.
All right, let's hack them up. Let's toss them out the door.
Go for it.
If we hold our
You
light
got a
up
knife.
to the window, we don't see anything?
Make an observation check.
5. Would have been nice to roll 5 earlier.
Okay. Outside in the corridor, you see a naked, filthy, hairy man, like hairy as an unshaven sort of thing, not, a wolf man or something. A naked, unshaven, filthy man on all fours. And when the light shines, he looks up at you with wide eyes And he has all these broken teeth and a bloodied face and hands and body. And then he scutters out of the light. And you
Away
smell
from
more
where-
excreta, and you're not sure if that's him or if you just crapped yourself.
All right, he ran away from where we want to go.
He ran towards the infirmary area, up the corridor, back where you came from. If you want to go away from him, you have to go deeper on to the psych wards and then death row.
All right, well, let's
You hear the door to the infirmary creak open
and that's the way we
and
came
then
in,
just
right?
close. It's not like a sudden close. It's one of those doors that's got the little thing on it so that it closes itself.
How many did you see?
Hmm?
I just
So
saw
against-
one. Yeah.
Well, there's 3 of us. We're all armed.
All right.
If we act as a group,
Everybody
we
take
could.
a limb.
All right.
Everybody, we're gonna hack Doc up.
Oh, God.
I'm taking the left arm. Anybody want the thigh? I
At
say we
least
just
he's not
run.
offering the head.
Just looking
It
at
could
you
be
and
worse.
shaking your head.
I was gonna say he said limbs. He did not say head. So
Jane's just looking at you and shaking her head. And she says, "What the hell are you doing?"
apparently he wants a distraction and bait. I mean, maybe it'll work. I don't know. Just take something. A foot,
not
a hand,
taking-
whatever.
I am not taking parts of Doc Knox. No, she says.
Okay.
All right, let's go take this. Let's get out of here. Let's go do what we have to do with this guy. And let's
right.
get out of this prison.
You get out into the corridor. There's nobody there except yourselves. There are bloody footprints that go up and down the corridor, and the most recent ones are going into the infirmary area where you've come from. Further down the corridor will be the psych wards and death row.
Well, we're getting out of here, so we're taking the way we know out.
And more paramedics.
All right. So, Erica, you go on ahead then, eh? Who's going first?
I say we just rush it. Let's just sprint out of here.
Well, it's a narrow corridor. I mean, it's wide as corridors go because it's designed that people can push stretchers in and out.
Mhm.
But you can't stand 3 abreast or whatever. Maybe 2, but then if you were meleeing, you'd bash into each other.
Guys, I think what
Yeah.
Kyle's telling you, somebody's going to get eaten by a zombie tonight. Decide.
Jay is definitely the toughest.
Make the NPC go first. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that ended so well for her the first time.
All right. So Jaya goes ahead of you up the corridor. Put that arm down, she says. What's wrong with you? She goes up the corridor and she peers ahead through the door. Make an observation check for Jaya. Bill?
Alrighty. My dice roller. Hang on a second. All right. Just a second. I don't have any dice to hand. Well, dang me. It is
You don't have any dice. You're on a gaming live stream and you don't have any
A
dice with
3. It is a
you.
That's
Should be
hilarious.
forget about the copyright or whatever. YouTube should remove you if you're on a gaming live stream without any dice.
Yeah.
I'm just Bill.
Well, I got a 3.
He's,
So
he's not mad. He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
All right, Jay says, there's nothing there. And she opens up, she pushes open the door. It was unlocked in any case. Because remember, it was permanently unlocked. She pushes open the door and she is surprised.
brains.
As she is leapt upon. Now, let's find the wounding.
I think a
one.
leptopon is one of those subatomic particles, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. All right. She's leapt upon the thing, strikes her in the. Where's the location? Anyway, it don't have it on this one. All right. She is struck on the trunk, which is fortunate because she is wearing a vest. And the vest reduces the wound by a level. So she gets a green wound. Let's see if she remains standing. No, she does not. She goes, so Jaya goes down and a shotgun goes flying. And she's down and the thing starts biting at her.
We pretty much expected that.
Yeah.
So Jaya opens the door. Like I said, it's one of those self-closing doors. So Jaya opens the door. She steps through. This naked, bloody, filthy figure leaps on her with a. She falls down, and the door closes itself. And then you hear struggle and screaming from the other side of the door.
Yeah, we're coming through.
Yeah, right behind her. Gonna shiv that guy.
All right, so you open up the door again. All right, you open up the door and you see this, like I said, this naked, bloody, filthy guy on top of Jaya, and she's helpless, barely conscious, and he's biting at her face.
I'm gonna scream 4, and I'm gonna swing my club like a golf ball.
All right, so you get one attack each.
Dear Lord, I've never asked you for much. Please let her roll a 1 and hit Jay on the head, because that would be so fucking funny.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Right, you needed that, Bill, didn't you?
You swing your
needed a
pipe
pick
at her.
me up.
Well, that's a no and result. Therefore, you swing your pipe and it just breaks over the thing's back without injuring it.
Oh.
And it stops biting her face and it looks up at you.
Throw the limb! Throw the limb!
All right. You'll go, Autumn. You can hit it with your torch or your knife, either.
Okay. All right. Quick question. This is simultaneous. Do I have to worry about hitting my? Yes.
Yes, you do. You always have. If two guys are wrestling and you try to punch one of them, do you think there's a chance you might?
She is going. She saw that gun go flying.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She's grabbing that gun and she's running for the door. She's greedy. She's like, come on, Erica.
All right. So that'll be your actions. All right. Next round. Bill?
Yeah.
The master result chart needs a roll. Thing is,
already.
Does this thing continue chewing up Jaya, or does it pay attention to the people who are failing?
4. 4.
4. Okay. So Yes, it continues. It continues grabbing at her, but it's not chewing at the moment. It's just sort of it's just crouched over her and looking up at them, ready to defend itself.
Meanwhile, I'm in the Volkswagen going through the box of cassettes that I found. Ooh, Best of Van Morrison. That's a good one. I'm going to listen to that one. Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. That's a little on the nose.
Adam, you got the limb for a reason. Use it.
All right. Next combat turn. Declaration of actions. Remember, you get handle, move, orient, and attack. So Autumn apparently is going to do a move and a handle, run over to the gun, pick it up. What are you going to do, Eric?
What did I do last round? What did I do last round?
Not much, because like I said, there's not enough room for everyone to go through, particularly in the door area with 2 figures on the ground and stuff.
Erica's going to swing again.
Okay, so you're going to do
because the first time went so well.
Are you going to do 2 attacks?
Yeah.
Okay, but remember, you don't have that pipe anymore. That broke and it went flying.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be the knife then.
Okay. Knife has a higher wound rating anyway. A blunt weapon can do at most a yellow wound, but a blade can do up to a red wound. And you've seen what red wounds do to poor Doc Knox. So, all right, so you'll stab at it. Okay. Make a roll, Erica. 1 attack roll first.
A 6.
6. Awesome. So you have no modifiers except it is an improvised. It's not a proper fighting knife. It's just like a kitchen knife. So it'll be -1. It's an improvised weapon. So it becomes a 5. And the 5 gives you the result of a yellow wound. Okay. And that will be, the yellow wound will be on its right arm.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so you stab it in the arm. Okay. Autumn, you're doing a movement. Now, normally, just moving is not going to require a roll. However, there are 2 figures wrestling on the ground. There are bloody footprints on the ground, a little bit slippery. It's dark. You just got that torch in your hand. So the roll here is, does she make it across the room, without tripping or stumbling or something like that? Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So make a 1d6 roll. This is where sports would have been useful, Doc Knox, if your character's still around. Sports would give a bonus here.
He struck out, though. Autumn got a 4.
4, okay, yeah. Yes, but, all right. So, yes, you move safely across the ground without falling over, but it takes you both actions instead of just the one action. Because you're having to sort of step around these 2 figures on the ground and try not to trip over them.
Sure.
Or get bitten or something.
Excuse me. I'll be right back, guys. Excuse me.
Okay, then. Next action, Erica, roll your second attack.
Okay. 2. Not so well.
That's just an ordinary miss. Okay. Next turn, what are you guys going to be doing?
She's going to keep stabbing at it.
Yep. And
hey, Atomic FX, good to see you. Thank you for swinging by.
And Autumn, what are you going to get? Are you going to repeat that? You're still going for the shotty?
He said he had to step away, so I would assume he's going for the shotty. He said he was doing that. So.
Yeah, shotty. Go for the shot. So we'll give Autumn 2 actions: a handle and a move, because he said he's going to get up and go. You don't need to make a roll.
5.
No, don't need to make a roll now.
Okay.
But what you do want to make a roll for is to see how aggressive the thing is this turn. Is it going to stay on Jaya, or is it going to turn and deal with Erica? Being attacked by a mad junkie with a knife.
A 6. A 6 was rolled for the zombie.
Okay. All right. So this thing decides that it's going to attack Erica.
Woohoo! I mean, oh no.
I'm not feeling love tonight.
All right, Erica, your stab. Roll your
Okay.
first stab.
Going for the face if he's turning to me. And a 3.
3, which becomes a 2. So that's just a miss. All right, now it has a go at you. Bill, why don't you roll for the
A 4.
4? Okay. A 4, it's just using its own body. So it inflicts a green wound on Erica. It bites at you on your right arm. Bites at your right arm.
Yeah. Y'all best be grabbing a bone saw.
All right. And
Dude,
again,
you got a limb out
action.
there.
Second action.
What's up
you
with
stab
that?
him again.
Yeah.
Like,
And a 5.
5. So that becomes a 4. So you wound him again. Okay. Now, Bill, it's called a stand-up check. See if the guy remains standing.
6.
6. Yes, he does. Does remain standing. It actually becomes 5 because of his wounds. 4 because of his wounds. Accumulated wounds. So, he remains standing, but he's going to lose the next turn. So he's holding at his arm. He's in pain. He wails in a very strange and inhuman manner. Okay, Autumn has got the shotgun and she's going running off.
You
the
back
scene
Joe?
that I see.
Yeah, you're good with that, Joe? Because while you were away, we just had to pick up the shotgun and run off. You can turn around and come back if you want.
Oh, okay. She ran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what you said she was going to do. So.
Well,
she could change her mind.
I figured it took me both actions to get to the shotgun.
Yes, but there was a turn that you missed where she went over there, picked up the thing, and then ran off. But she's only done one round of movement, so she's now, instead of at melee range, at short range. So she can turn around and come back.
So it would be move and melee.
Move and attack, or she could just attack with her shotgun. If you want to shoot at this thing, which is on top of Jaya and crouched next to Erica.
The shotgun's a glorified club right now.
Well, you could try to clear it. You could do a handle action and try to clear it and then attack.
All right, I'm gonna try to clear the gun.
Okay.
If I don't get it on the first,
Erica's going to attack. All right. So this thing is busy holding its arm, and it's sort of crouched down with kind of my precious, that kind of thing. And Erica's standing over it with a blade, and you're clearing the weapon. All right. So make a weapon clearing roll. So it's a firearms check. The question is, do you clear the weapon? You don't have any skill, but you don't have any penalty to it, so it's just a raw roll.
No. 2.
A 2. No, you do not clear the weapon. But it's still useful as a club, or you could just throw it if you want to.
Can I try again to clear it?
Well, that would be next turn, because your declared actions were handling it and attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either you can either just stand there, or you can throw it, or you can try again next turn.
She will, I guess, maybe orient might be the best action to try to figure out what's wrong with this gun. Whatever I can do
okay.
to help.
You're
clear
standing there
this
trying to
again.
figure out this thing in the darkness because you
Yep.
can't hold your torch at the same time as you're
Yep.
handling this long arm and so on. All right.
Yep.
Erica, roll your attack. The thing's not doing any attacks this turn.
Okay. A 6.
Woohoo! Okay, 6 becomes a 5, so that that's another wound. You stab at it. You stab it in the guts, and then my stand-up check, I got less than 1, so it falls down to the ground unconscious. You stab it a second time?
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
don't want it coming back.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for that one or no?
Yes, you do need to roll, yes.
Okay. A 1.
You stab it, and the blade goes into the ribs, and it breaks off because it's just an improvised weapon. It's a kitchen knife.
Okay, so I take the broken one and go after the neck. We're gonna
Well,
finish
it's
it.
broken. It's broken off. It's not useful as a weapon anymore.
Oh, I can't even use like the
No.
hilt.
But you know, you can in the next turn if you want to, you can punch it, or you can grab the head and smash it into the ground or something as you wish. We could just leave it there.
Yeah,
And this
I think we
thing
should
smells.
tie it up and leave it there.
This is a person who's been in their own filth and has been eating rotten food, including human meat, for some time. So this thing smells really bad. You can smell so bad that you can taste it in your mouth.
All right, let's get out of here. I'll help Jaya up,
Yep.
and I'll take the battery out of the door, let it relock, and we'll take the battery and the cable with us.
Right.
Perfect.
All right. So you make your way out of the prison, and you come. So, Bill, your character sees them come outside.
I'm just sitting in there, sitting in the car. It's idling. I'm listening to the Beach Boys cassette that I found. You
You see them come outside. Jaya comes out being supported by Erica, which kind of surprises you that the 180-pound woman is being supported by the 100-pound woman. And Jaya has a bloodied face with a scrap of flesh hanging off her. And Erica has a bloodied arm. Autumn looks quite intact. She's carrying a shotgun.
Okay.
Everyone's looking a bit distressed, and there's no Doc Knox with them.
All right. You guys were going in to patch one guy up. You came back without him, and more of you are injured. What in the hell happened in there?
There was a zombie cannibal in there.
I look at Autumn. Did you let her inject or swallow something?
Jay is like,
I couldn't keep my eyes
some
on her.
guy from the psych ward. Wasn't it?
I think it was Lloyd.
Psych ward, says Jay.
It was old Lloyd. Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
Okay. Get her in the back. I'll, make sure the heater is going, and I will rummage through my my ditty bag there, and I will hand the first aid kit back to them so they can start patching up.
Radio.
Yes. The second
driving off?
cleric is down.
Jaya, you got this? Pat yourself first.
She can't
Help me later.
She can't first aid her own face.
Yeah.
She'll need some help.
I'll reach up and snap the passenger sun visor off. It's got a mirror on it to help, not just so she can hold it, but so they can use it. Reflect a little light back there. I'm sure that 5-watt dome light in the bug is not exactly clinically you know.
Yeah, so you're sitting there in the VW bug, and you've just got your little dome light underneath, and the torch flashing around, and Jaya is swearing because she's in pain, and you guys are poking at her and that, and like, God damn it. Lots of swearing, and she's trying to guide you in what to do. The engine's running, and you hear this bodily thump from behind the vehicle.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's get out of here.
I'm getting out of there. I'm not like gonna try and 0 to 60. Well, I mean, it's a Volkswagen; it would be 0 to 60 in like 8 days. But you know, I'm definitely driving away at a safe and controllable speed.
Okay, so all right, so you speed up down the road. It comes to the T junction of the highway. To the right is a drive along to the gas station that you've been at before, and to the left is a drive off somewhere else to parts unknown. Which way?
I'll head towards parts unknown because I know there's an eventual washout that is going to be impossible for us to cross because we tried it already. So I will.
No, you did cross it. You found a ford. You did cross it.
Oh, that's also true. Okay, yeah. No, actually, yeah, we will head on up the highway deeper into the open spaces because Jaya said that the city was to the left. I'm heading out into the wilds to the right. You see.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's 10 miles to the gas station. It's dark, snowing. Is anyone wearing sunglasses?
No, I don't want the minus. I don't want the minus
Blues
two
Brothers.
you give me for that.
All right, and the credits roll.
Very good, guys. Not really, but very fun. It was fun if nothing else.
I just for the credits, I just look at him and say, "Who's up for some Johnny Cash?" And I plug the tape in, and when the man comes around,
yeah. So, Joe, are you going to continue playing Autumn, or are you going to roll up a new character?
I'll see what the dice say, and I'll let you know throughout the interim.
Yep, no worries. No worries. Well, that's it, boys and girls.
Yeah, rough. Well, thank you,
bad
Kyle.
Night for the good guys, but thank you to Kennick, thank you to Joe, of course, for playing, and of course, thank you to Kyle for running. Man, it's a brutally effective game. Yes, so I will be back tomorrow night. We will be taking a little bit of a side tour. We're gonna have a look at Blueholm, which is the fan-made expert rules for Holmes Introductory Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I think the expert rules for Holmes Introductory Dungeons and Dragons is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but these guys felt differently, and we're going to take a look at their book and see what it's like. So we're going to do that. Now, Friday, I had forgotten that for some reason my brain was thinking that Saturday was the 4th of July, but it is Friday. So I will have to talk to the Gamma World crew and find out whether or not they in fact want to Gamma. If they don't, we'll find something to do. I'll turn up the mic gain and we can listen to fireworks go off together or something. But again, Kyle, I appreciate it. Another fun session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Players trying to turn it R-rated with dismemberment.
Yes.
Well,
big
thanks,
ups
guys.
to Zalo and Wave of Mutilation for the supers tonight, guys. I really, really super appreciate it. And I'll let everyone head back into the green room where they can have some schnapps and some baklava. And as for myself, guys, the best thing you can do to support the channel right now is to click the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and of course, let everybody know the good word. And now, to close off the show, here's some music that, at least for the moment, I think I'm not going to get copyright struck for. Peace. Good night. God bless you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.